Rated M for mature.
Jack, he's a psychomaniac. That's right, it's Defo sight. It don't matter who's wrong or right. I just might catch you slipping. Getting paid is my intuition and my ambition. It's the way the city in the sea.
We've got one of the announcers. He took time out of his very busy schedule. Mr. Greg Proops, say hello to all our fans.
Hello, everybody. Hi, I'm Greg Proops. Hi, JP.
Or, as we called you in MadWorld, Howard Buckshot Holmes.
Buckshot, yeah.
So I kind of want to start and find out how you got involved with MadWorld, what happened.
My friend Jack Fletcher called me, who I'd done a bunch of pictures with, a wildly unsuccessful picture called Kaina the Prophecy that had Kristen Dunst and Richard Harris' last movie. I think it was the movie that took his life. And Angelica Houston, and I did that picture with him and an asterisk versus the Vikings, another wildly unsuccessful picture. Animated films, and I've known Jack for years. I'm from San Francisco, and so is he, and he still lives there. Mm-hmm. And he asked me to do it, and then when he told me John was doing it, I was very excited because John's such a great talent. Yeah, we'd never met before. So.
And John, unfortunately, couldn't be here today. We had an offer in, and it almost worked out, but he's rehearsing for something this evening. So,
oh, is he?
Yeah, so we couldn't get the timings to work out.
I would have thought that a bar was open somewhere in Los Angeles.
Yeah, bender on a bender.
Oh, buddy.
So, did you have to audition at all for it? Or?
Not really, no. We came in, and they, I can't remember the very beginning one, but I think we just came in and jumped right in. And the parts were set from the very start, because I did the pod race announcer in the picture, The Phantom Menace, which is, I think, the Star Wars 4. No, episode 1. It's episode 1, but it's the 4th picture in the bingeology. And so I was going to be the announcer, and John was always going to be the color guy.
And when you got into the studio, before you got into the studio, did you have any idea what kind of material you were going to be working on?
I didn't. I didn't realize that it was going to be as frank and profane and adult as it was. I thought, I'd done video games before. Over the last 10, 15 years, from the dawn of video games. Mm-hmm. I think I'm the announcer on Pod Racer, the Star Wars one, and there's a game called, I've forgotten the name of it. Sylvester Stallone did a horrible car racing movie in the 90s, and I did the video game of that as well.
Oh, really?
Yes, if I could remember the name of it, I'd tell you.
I'm racking my brain right now.
Yeah, well, one of the people out there will know which car racing movie Sylvester Stallone did it. And so having done those and really early ones like Pandemonium and stuff like that are...
Pandemonium was actually a pretty decent game, though. I mean,
I enjoyed it
early, but it was decent. I mean,
I'm the jester in that one, and so no, I wasn't ready for exactly how wild we were going to get. I didn't know you could do hooker jokes and f***ing jokes and the kind of material we got into.
So, what was the reaction when you and John get into the studio and they hand you those pieces of paper and you're like, what? Yeah,
well, John is hilarious, first of all, and we really made each other laugh. So it was a little bit of a mutual admiration society. And then, of course, we'd crack up all the time and break, and then end up everything that we'd break with he started going, I blame our schools, like that, and that became the catchphrase, too. No matter what vile thing we said. Yeah. Oh, that reminds me of when I was standing one after the next, and, blah, 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 blah. And then it would be, I blame our schools. So... once we got into the spirit of the thing, we were able to take it a little even further, I think, than the writers intended it to.
Did you do a lot of ad-libbing?
Well, I don't want to take anything away from the writers, but we did a fair amount of ad-libbing. What got in, I'm not certain of, because I haven't watched the game yet. I don't have a Wii operating system.
Yeah.
I have a steam-powered, Ms. Pac-Man, so I have the game, but I haven't watched it yet.
Oh, you have to get a Wii.
I know.
Yeah, and then, hire, some kid down the street to play it for you.
Yes,
you can just kind of sit back on the couch and enjoy your own work.
Exactly. I'm on a Nickelodeon show, which they would be mortified at the content of this game because Nickelodeon's very straight.
Yeah, did they know that you were doing it?
I haven't told anybody there, but everyone's come up to me on the set of this Nickelodeon show because they've been running the ad on Spike and TNT during the basketball playoffs. There's an ad where at the very end there's a tag for MadWorld where I go, come back with Jack. And so everybody's recognized my voice. And there's a kid on the set, Matt. he's 18 and he knows all about it. And I said, oh, it was for Sega. He goes, it's not Sega, it's Wii. And so he'd be the one that I would have to go over to his house probably.
You invented killing somebody with a signpost and a tire?
We did a lot of sessions for this.
Oh, really?
Well, yeah, you got called back quite a few times.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, we were there dozens of times.
Yeah. So how was that? Was it kind of like, you'd see John and then, hey, see you in a couple weeks?
Well, we did it a bunch, and then we came back and did it a bunch more. And some of the days were 8-hour days, which were fantastic because you can really get in I think, the flow of it.
Mm-hmm.
Doing it for just a couple of hours, I don't think you're able to. I mean, we would break, and where we recorded out in Burbank, there's a place called Chili John's down the road. And so eventually the excitement basically rested on what we're going to have for lunch that day. And then it would be I think it was Chili Thursdays or something like that.
Okay.
And the chili is unspeakable if you've ever been to Chili John's. It's a really old school place, and they do it on spaghetti, like Cincinnati style.
Yeah, okay.
Except I don't think they put a chocolate bar in the chili like Cincinnati people do. But there's really nothing like eating a giant lunch of chili. And then for some reason, like a lemon chiffon pie comes with it. Don't ask me why. There's a combination of that. So I guess my advice is don't drink coffee after that because there's a lot of heartache.
That must have made the recording booth have a lovely floral bouquet.
Fortunately, John was separated from me by a wall of glass and a door.
Oh, really?
We weren't in the same booth together because we needed the separation, so we didn't crash each other because we were crashing each other anyway. Jack pretty much directed the whole thing and let us just jump on each other. So we try to get things clean, but a lot of the time we would just yell on top of each other. So he was, through the other wall of the studio, and thank goodness, because there's a lot of things that emanate from John that are fairly unwholesome.
So, so how was it working with Jack? Obviously, you've worked with him quite a bit before. Was this project, obviously, because of the content, a little bit different?
Yeah, it was. I adore working with Jack because, he's a theater director, and he does all kinds of theater, and over the course of his long-assed career, he's directed Shakespeare, and there's a cabaret in San Francisco called, Teatro Campazzini or some kooky that has fire eaters and, tightrope walkers and singing and, this and that. So he's directed basically everything you could direct. When I was at San Francisco State back in the 40s, he directed there as well, of the little theater there called Brown Bag. And so he's really loose and he has a fantastic sense of humor. And we have a lot of the same references. References that maybe some of the younger people might not get, old movie references and things like that. So we go, well, this one's like Karloff, or this one's like, Peter Cushing in, Dracula Rises from the Grave or whatever.
Yeah. So how did that kind of translate into working on MadWorld? Did you references, how did you build the character of Howard? Because obviously it was on the page, but you definitely brought a very unique spin to Mr. Holmes.
Well, I wasn't certain at the beginning about all of Howard's givens, as we say in acting. For instance, the fact that, one, he's an insane sexual pervert and would pretty much go after anything that has a uterus and is a biped. Maybe not even a biped. I think a monoped might slip in there as well. And then, of course, the through line of that he has an ex-wife who he detests, who apparently catted around on him like no other woman has ever been slutty. And those kept getting reinforced. And then the predilection for making crappy puns, which, of course, I loved because I would anyway, even though I'm not a big punster. And the fact that John's character, whose name has escaped me at the current...
Chris Zabka.
Yes.
Which did I don't think anybody got the Chris Zabka reference.
No.
The Chris Zabka reference is, I actually named the character. And it's a Karate Kid joke. Yeah, John Kreese, and was the name of the instructor.
Wow. Now you tell me.
And Zabka was
all
the
this
actor.
time I've been laying up awake at night thinking what
was
it?
Yes,
yeah. Now I know.
So Kreese Zabka is a Karate Kid.
Wow. And Kreese is just unrepentant scum, and of course he lived through playing MadWorld is the premise of the game. That he's been through the human darts and every other heinous manner of mayhem, and so. The fact that he threatened to kill me all the time, I thought made it hilarious. That the dynamic between two people who are sitting in a booth next to each other is that basically they detest each other, and secondly that he's always threatening to kill me no matter what joke or horrible wordplay I made. And it was inevitable that I was going to make some sort of horrible wordplay off of whatever was going on.